Can you speak at all to how the process like where was your headspace during this process? Was it in a better place than previous auditions? And just sort of commenting on that aspect of preparation.
This for me, like, okay, so I'm going to preface here. I'm going to go back. I love doing stuff like this. I mean, there's so many great players out there. The age of information, between you, Chris Smith, or Ben Wright, or some amazing trumpet players that are good people, and you can kind of get a little bit of a window into what they each do. I notice, every person kind of does similar. All successful people do something similar, and it's so healthy, no matter how old you are, what job you have, to kind of reach out and collaborate, try to get better, like get someone else's perspective, and it's so fresh. So doing this was really fun for me. It was a little bit different than what I personally do, and it was something that was fresh, and I feel like mentally, since it was different, it was more fun. So, doing the Fisher Toll profiles, or, this audition, and I've done so many auditions that it's silly. So this one was just a little bit different. And I was like, this is cool. I can kind of get better no matter what happens. Like nothing, I only get better. You only get better taking auditions. So we actually had a few phone calls. There were short phone calls. And I feel like the phone calls where we talked about the mental game of auditioning and you were sharing your experiences with me, that was awesome, because it's just, no one does that. No one talks about this. It's so taboo, from mental health, or from like a performance anxiety. And it's good to kind of like talk to you. And I've talked to some other people about it, but no one ever openly talks about it. Mm-hmm. And I was going to, you could feel free to take this part out, but man, I am so glad I talked to you about beta blockers, because that was a game changer for me, dude. That I like sat down in the audition room, and I was like, man, the thought process I had leading up, I sub here all the time. It would really suck if I didn't advance. I mean, it is what it is, because anyone can have a bad day, and I don't live or die by the way I play auditions. No one should. That's not healthy mentally. It's because every day is different and we're human. But man, I would have never tried a bit. If we hadn't talked, I would have never tried that. And I tried that, and I was like, I've already used it for two things that work. And when I sat down in that audition room, I was like, wow, I'm not nervous at all. This is like kind of cool. Yeah. And I don't know if you want to even, God, I want to tell people like, take drugs. But, I was like, man, for me personally, and I talked to my doctor and I figured out what was good for me, and I tried it, and my PCM prescribed me 10 milligrams of propranolol, and I tried it, and it worked. And it's this whole process kind of changed my life a little bit.